So this parlay, you're drinking up with slightly less shaky survivors of this brawl. And they tell you a couple things, that their band is called, or I guess was called, the Brass Knuckles, and that they were, in fact, brought on in the merger of the Fools Guild and the Musicians Guild. But rather than being used for their talents, they're mostly just being used as a protection racket because the Brass Knuckles has had to deal with some shit in the past. Clearly nothing quite as powerful as a one-punch man, but they have nevertheless done so. We're going to get to that parlay in just a second.
Oh, wait, shit, you said you're bald, too, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, are you?
I'm a one-punch dwarf.
Do you have a beard?
Yeah. No,
okay.
I'm bald with a beard.
Well, that's the difference between just a short man and a dwarf.
And a dwarf is a beard.
Yeah.
A short man or a bearded dwarf?
Who knows?
Or is he just happy to see me? Genovia, you have extracted, perhaps with another banana or two, a promise in orangutanese.
The banana promise.
Unbreakable.
The unbreakable banana
Banana
promise.
bond, if you will. Unpeelable.
To bring you to the library of the Unseen University. What are you going to do after you have extracted this promise from our friend the librarian?
I'm going to go into the library and get the book to look up the different types of zodiacs and the celestial
Signs and symbols.
signs and see what the celestial parsnip means, because before coming here I was with my Granny Weatherwax, who is my witch mentor, who taught me, and we both had a dream at the same time, and that dream was there was a ship sailing on the Circle Sea with one too many men. They were following the celestial parsnip star, and the boat capsizes.
Hell yeah.
So I wanted to see what is the reason for this and what this means.
So, to go back to just a second before, when you guys had come into the city, you had gone your separate ways with perhaps the understanding that you would meet at the Mended Drum. Afterwards, Genovia was turned away from the Unseen University by this guard that she mentioned as she walked in, and now she has found an ally to actually bring her into the Unseen University. Are you going to say anything to your...
I think I will go up to Crusty, who has been the ear for all my ramblings on this journey, mostly. I mean, Charles has just been kind of, I think,
just talking to the bear.
Talking to the bear, or ignoring it, and
mostly ignoring it.
Crusty, I have found a way to complete or make a progress in my quest.
Oh.
I can join you later. Whistle 3 times loudly to the northern winds and find a small worried mouse and toss it in that direction, and I shall come running.
But Mimosa, I ain't got flesh lips, so I'm not supposed to whistle.
Right.
I think I could do the mouse part.
Okay, right. Well, just, do as best as you can. Maybe scratch a stone on your face a little bit and try if that will make a high-pitched sound. Anything close to
I don't mean to step in and tell you how to do it, but maybe you could strum your instruments.
Oh, yes.
I got
What is your name, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is new boss.
Oh, I like him.
Edward.
Is new boss
His name's
your...
Edward.
Oh, Edward.
Actually,
Respects the bear more than me.
New boss is fine, and
Oh,
yes,
fine.
the bear's companion is right.
Hey,
Oh,
come on.
Finally, a wildling that knows his place.
God damn it.
He is a
I
fine
know,
little
wildling.
man,
I was raised
I
in this
would
goddamn
say.
city.
So, right, I'll play a little tune and try to send it your way.
Yes, as close to a whistle sound as you can. Make sure the mouse is very worried that you toss.
Alright.
Okay.
Can't forget a goddamn worried mouse.
I think Dwayne pops into your ear, so to speak, even though he is a non-corporeal entity.
Right.
Dwayne, the small god, and says, God, here we go.
Just do like a conglomeration of wrestling sounds.
Oh, yeah, brother. If I could speak a word in your ear when we get a second. If I could just whisper a little thing into your ear. Because I'm feeling good now that you've evangelized. And I think Tufa actually hears this and looks up and says, Oh, is that
That's Dwayne, baby.
Oh, my
you sound
God.
more powerful now, Dwayne.
I believe. Oh, yeah, brother, you know you believe in me, Dwayne. I might be Macho Man Randy Savage, but we'll just move right past it, shall we?
The more powerful Dwayne becomes, he just absorbs other wrestlers down. He started off just
Entirely.
But
he's the whole WWE, the more followers he gets.
but you guys head off, you and the orangutan head off in the
Oh,
direction.
with the goddamn orangutan?
Yeah, she got to go to the library. Oh, no, I'll go talk to Dwayne.
I don't understand that. People who follow orangutans, they're just animals. You know?
Meanwhile, this whole time, I'm having a great conversation with Beef, just catching up with him.
Yeah, okay.
Beef, don't talk to him. Beef, come back over here.
This is a good time, actually, to evaluate our bonds, because it seems like your bond changed.
It's shifted, I think.
Yeah, so yours is, he's your new boss. Like, has that changed at all, or no? Or
Well,
he lied and you like it?
Well, I'm writing a ballad about the
okay.
adventures.
So that probably hasn't
I
changed.
still don't think I lied. I still think that this is the bard that I hired.
Right.
I just think that he lied about. He just didn't mention that he was a troll to me, and I find that a little weird. But
Right. Do you mark experience from having changed your bond towards Edward Valender?
Yeah, it was. Well, I have never. It is still, I have never. So I guess it's still that.
And I still worry about Charles' ability to survive in a dungeon, because without his master Beef by his side, I mean, you know.
Damn, I have a bow and arrow.
I don't know if Genovia's the butt of my joke. She's not around for me to razz her.
Is she? Oh, has she been the butt of your jokes?
I think on our adventures, she has often been the butt of my jokes, is what my bond says. But in this instance, she's not around for me to make fun of her. So.
I think it's more of a change in relationship
In
than
relationship,
yeah.
okay.
So if you met up again, would she still be the butt of your jokes? Or
Yeah, probably.
okay. Do we have anybody that doesn't have a bond with anybody? Did you have a bond with Edward? Did you have an impression
I
of?
just put Edward, nice dwarf.
That's a nice door.
It's a nice dwarf right there.
We'll see if that changes. Let's get to that parlay. So I think you're trying to get information out of them and rolled double failures. I think it was you two
Well, I think
specifically.
Well, I
had a
got a
mixed
partial
success.
success. I got a 7, and then
then
he
I
was
full
80.
failed.
and
Oh, you
he
got a
failed.
7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know how to run this actually. Now that I think about it. So, what are you trying to get out of them? Information about their.
Like I was trying to figure out like who was behind this new merger of the Fools and Music Guild, because I've been having suspicion that there's like people trying to stop me from opening.
Yeah.
Like, because it's not just like, you know, some things fall through in business deals, but like everything that I've
Everything
had
has been
like left and right. So I'm just trying to get some information out of them, because it seems like they're kind of, you know, upset with their current thing. So trying to use whatever information I can to get back at the other guilds to get some leverage to be able to open up the DFC.
Yeah, it's Dr. Whiteface. Yeah, he's big moves, you know, his big expansion and all that stuff. It's the other guy too, but I mean, it's all part of it, man. We were meant. It's a bunch of us trying to stop other people from getting performance certificates. The actors are getting eaten like the musicians did. We're all, you know, it's a monopoly when you think about it.
This is probably the most words Tufa has said. And
She's been enlightened.
yeah, sure. And Dan sort of nods and confirms this. He says, "Yeah, and we were just supposed to make sure that only that guy got on the stage today." And he points over his shoulder. He's like, "Oh, where did Gumbus?" And behind one of the overturned tables, a very shaky hand in a mime glove reaches up and says, "Yeah, I'm here.
Aren't you not supposed to say anything?
Now, wait a minute.
He peeks over the table and you see a person in full clown makeup, not mime makeup. He
That's
goes,
cheating. You gotta
What?
mime it. You gotta mime it.
not-
You can't speak.
"Mimes are."
I will rip off your face. It's gotta be natural.
Yeah,
Gumbus.
this is going to translate really well to an audio medium.
I think Gumbus, not his Christian name, or Omnian name, I don't know. Gumbus sort of looks terrified at this threat and sort of looks at Dan and looks at Tufa and says,
Oh, you're not from around here, are you?
says Tufa.
Yeah, mimes is so fucking illegal, mate. What? No mimes.
You fucking kidding me?
This place is alright.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Veterinary hates
My
him.
dad was a mime.
The patrician hates him.
Look, man.
You get put in scorpion pits is what I heard.
Scorpion pits.
Oh.
Yeah. If you're a mime, that is.
What happened to my dad?
Oh, I'm
He
so
got thrown.
sorry.
He was a mime and got thrown in the scorpion pit, but that was an alphabetine. Damn, it's spread.
Fuck. I'm real sorry about that.
I also just said fuck because I was remembering your accent. And Gumbus, like, not sure whether he's allowed to speak, says, "Yeah, oh right, oh god,
Okay, I don't care.
yeah, no, I'm just a Muggins, third class. So, I don't think I want to perform today anyway. I'll probably just go back to my dorm.
Well, you
Alright.
got a permit?
Yeah,
Can I have it if you're not using it?
I mean,
Well, I don't think my permit will work with the musician permit.
Does it?
what is this permit for
Was
there?
it your
or-
performance permit?
Yeah,
My permit.
I'm an accredited fool of the Fools Guild for what that's worth. You want to hear some of my stuff?
No, I think we're kind of busy.
Well, I'll just do a little one real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, give me a top five. Give me a top five.
Oh, he gets up on stage and he's like shaking really hard, but you can tell like he's really like been preparing for this as long as possible. And he like takes a.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
I'm just trying to
Think about a cool running strain.
envision you all in your underwear, is what Dr. Whiteface says.
Don't.
Y'all heard him. Now take off your underwear so this man can perform.
All right, and
start stripping.
I do.
I'm like,
Why, sir? I just rode in from Genoa, and boy, is my butt tired. Forsooth. He actually looks so relieved, actually, that you guys are laughing. For is it not said, is not a buff jerkin a most sweet robe of durance, forsooth?
He said forsooth.
Why didst yon monkey enjoy the banana? And at the door, as Genovia and the monkey are leaving, the monkey turns.
Genovia just pats the librarian on the head and points back to the library.
And you guys head on out the door, completely unaware of the mortal danger he was just in. He says, forsooth, the monkey enjoyeth the banana because it hath appeal.
I mean, that was good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to lie. I know I'm nothing. I mean,
Well,
now
I mean,
Giggles is. Oh my God! I wish I could fool like
Giggles
Giggles.
a clown?
Yeah, he used to be my roommate, but he's on the fast track, so to speak.
I don't know about clown.
Dr. Whiteface's favorite, and I'm just a lowly muggin still.
I lean over. I'm like,
Wait, Whiteface the bad one, right?
I lean over to like the.
What do I know about Whiteface being from?
You know specifically that he is the leader of the Fools Guild.
Okay.
That he's a shrewd businessman. And, like everybody in the Fools Guild, he has like his own specific, like, fool's makeup and clown outfit, routine. And he's just like the most senior and, I guess, powerful fool within the guild. Which you also know, if you want to spout realities or something about this, or what is it, spout lore, the move?
Spout lore, which is consult accumulated knowledge about something. Roll an intelligence 10+. This is fun because I have a -1. Oh no, mind. That's -1 to wisdom. I have just a flat on intelligence.
0.
even
Cool.
intelligence.
Hey! Ooh, and I
Holy
got motherfucking
shit.
11.
Okay.
No shit.
So I tell you both something interesting and useful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll tell you something interesting and useful about the subject relevant to your situation.
You know, specifically from your situation of trying to get the DFC off the ground, that Dr. Whiteface has been instrumental in, blacklisting you. You now just hearing these words together, put them together in your head that this is the guy who's very, weirdly not foolish, but very sober despite being in the full makeup all the time. Sort of political maneuvering has made it such that you are unable to find venues and such like that. And actually, you also, the mention of the word Giggles, the name Giggles also sparks something in your brain, but you're not quite sure where you remember that from. You sort of mulling on this when Giggles and Dr. Whiteface are brought up, your gaze sort of wanders and lands on Dan, and there's a moment where Dan like sort of stiffens and like hyperventilates for a second and then calms himself down. Let's head on over to Crusty's conversation with Dwayne.
Right.
Oh, yeah, bro.
brother, you done good. You done good by Dwayne, and Dwayne will do good by you. I feel better than I have in eons.
I'm happy I made you happy.
Can you feel it in the air?
Well, I smell what you're cooking.
You smell what the Dwayne is cooking.
That's right, it smells good.
Snap into a Slim Dwayne.
It smells minerally.
Can you tell why I brought you to Ankh-Morpork?
Well, I think it should bring more people to you, wasn't it, Dwayne?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it before, but this is the place. I can feel it underground. I can feel the potential.
Right.
Keep on the road you're on, brother.
All right. I will, Dwayne. I'll tell more people about it. I'll show them your rock. I'll hit them on the head with it, and they'll love you like I love you, Dwayne.
If a voice can or a presence can suddenly grow cold for a second, I think Dwayne does and says, "You wouldn't leave me, would you, Crusty?"
I'll never leave you.
Never
you
for another.
enlightened me. You hit me in the head with your rock and set me on this great adventure I'm on. I'll never leave you, Dwayne.
Oh, I knew I could trust you.
Yeah.
Good talk.
Good talk.
And we cut to the streets of Ankh-Morpork, Filigree Street, as the librarian goes feet over knuckle, wandering through the cobblestone streets up Filigree Street towards the Patrician's Palace, past it towards Sator Square, and near to the Unseen University. It's an uneventful trip. I think you've never been to Ankh-Morpork before, but it's still a huge, bustling sight. And how does it strike you, Genovia?
It seems suspicious. I feel like I have to stay hidden. As the first female wizard. I don't know.
You feel like there's eyes on you.
Yes, I feel like I'm being watched, so I'm kind of have my hood up, my wizard's hood that's on my robe up, and I'm sneaking around with the librarian, hopefully to keep my head down and just get into the library.
And specifically as you walk along the paths past the Temple District on the way to the Unseen University, that feeling of being watched or counted in some way increases. And as you're wandering along the crush of life, definitely unusual for you. I think you spend more of your life on the frontier. It seems even a little bit unusual for a city. There's a lot of people, for example, talking to themselves, and surely that's more than the normal beggar and such. But the librarian doesn't seem to comment, and instead knuckles over towards the Unseen University.
Can I take out Boozle the Beetle and some brush I've gathered and detect magic?
Yes, so you get to cast Detect Magic as a cantrip. And so this affects one of your senses, right? So what are you doing with this sort of witcherly, wizardly mishmash of magic? Which of your senses are you augmenting to detect magic?
I'll use my sense of smell.
Yes. Yes, make it difficult on me. It's an audio medium. Let's see. So, what does it smell like when something is magical in this way? I think things like destructive magics definitely smell more like acidic or electric, and there's definitely that ozone
like
smell.
Rusty copper.
Yeah, exactly. Like those sort of elemental, sharp, metallic smells. Whereas the smells that and let me be clear. This is the biggest city on the disc. Internal plumbing has not been invented. It is an assault on your senses to be in Ankh-Morpork. Specifically near the river, which you're not, but you can still smell it. And in the summer, it actually steams and becomes a disgusting, horrible thing.
A sauna.
Yeah, it's warm in the winter. That's that, right?
Sauna, shower.
A shit sauna.
A shower.
But amidst all of those smells, you 100% smell magic. And you're not exactly sure what it specifically is. It's definitely more than the background magic for this area. And until somebody in a pitched conversation with themselves who seems to be rejoicing and talking to the air, a nice-looking, nice-dressed man walking opposite you, and then farther away down on the street, you smell a whiff of magic. And it smells, I'm sure you've used this in the past, a lot like Dwayne. Whenever you've used Detect Magic before on your travels with Dwayne and Crusty and Charles and Beef, this is what it smells like to be a Dwayne.
Okay. Like a magical man. Not man, but entity smell.
Do you believe in Dwayne? Does Dwayne exist to you? I don't think Dwayne has ever spoken to you.
I think that it's a rock that Crusty babbles about.
As much as I insist that Dwayne is not the Rock, but the Rock is a visual representation, you cannot get it through
Yes.
your head.
He just won't put it away.
It smells a lot like, specifically, traveling in Krusty's company.
Okay.
And it's a weird magical sort
Crusty!
of just shout into the street. Let's head back to this parlay session. Is there anything you want specifically out of Gumbus, Dan, and Tufa? I assume you've rejoined Crusty.
Yeah. I'm back from my Dwayne void.
Dan's the one that
The shifty one.
the shifty one that
Stiffened up a little bit.
stiffened up.
Yeah, he's been acting real funny.
So the dagger that he threw into me and then stabbed is still buried in the table.
I think he's actually looking at it, like, trying to, like, place it.
So I have an ability, because I'm a fighter, called Bend Bars, Lift Gates. When you use pure strength to destroy an inanimate object, roll plus strength. So I'm going to, like, stare him in the eyes and then grab the dagger, and then just kind of, like, what I'm attempting to do is, like, to just snap it in two with one hand while staring at him directly.
It's an intimidation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going
Nice.
to do it by bending these bars.
Give me a strength roll.
8 plus 2, which is a 10.
God damn it.
Our new boss is rich and strong.
So I get to choose
free
3
rock
out of
man.
this list. So I'm going to choose. It doesn't take very long.
Yeah, you do it. I
Yeah,
think
it doesn't make an inordinate amount of noise. I could fix it again with not a lot of effort. So pretty much what you see is, like, I see him eyeing the dagger, and I just grab it, and with, like, little effort, just, like, snap it in half. And then I put the hilt of, like, the broken dagger in his hand and go, all right, so you can do one of two things right now. You tell me why I got that fucking shifty look on your face, or you can try to fight me with your dagger again and see how this turns out this time.
So this looks like a parlay with a +1 or 2. I'm going to say +2 on this forward, which is basically because of your feats, you have granted a temporary bonus to this next
Yeah.
roll.
Nice.
+2.
Okay, and so would this be with charisma or constitution?
I think this is still Constitution.
Okay.
Nice.
So I got a plus
So
3 in
it's
total.
hefty.
All right, don't fuck it up.
I got a 4 plus 3, I got a 7.
Okay,
So that's
enough.
7 total.
it's not a failure.
They need some concrete assurance of your promise right now.
So, I think you have given him the concrete promise of future violence.
Yeah.
If he
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
tell you why he has a shifty look on his face,
Yeah.
and he says, okay, I've heard that before. I think I just have one of those faces. I'm not gonna try to do that again. You can believe me. Grunge was my fault, and I don't want to be grunged.
No, but what you kind of got weirded out when we were talking about Giggles and Mr. Whiteface.
He shudders again. He doesn't really know why. He's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, they're fucking freaks. I mean, sorry, Gumbus, y'all are fucking freaks, but
That's a very rude thing to say.
I
That's a very rude thing to say.
now he's looking scared at you too.
Beef thinks that's a rude thing to say, too.
Sorry, Beef.
Please
Beef?
do not upset my friend Beef.
Do not upset Beef. He's a fucking bear.
Gumbus says, I mean, I'm used to it.
You shouldn't be used to it. Fuck it. Never mind.
No, Charles, are you gonna?
No, I never mind to him. I'm still looking at Mime Hater.
For what it's worth, I think it's a worthwhile artistic profession. It's a lot
That's
of
what I like to hear.
yeah. I mean, not here, but a lot of my best friends are mimes and like Genua and stuff.
A lot of my best friends are mine.
Yeah,
I know a lot of great mimes.
Silento,
Hire mine.
What?
Silento, the mime and Gen.
Cheese? I don't know cheeses.
No, it's the mime. He's quiet. He's silent. Get it?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I've heard
His brother Quietus.
Oh, Quietus, I think it's pronounced, yeah.
Yeah, Quietus.
Of course I've heard of it.
So I got nothing against mimes. I'm telling you.
Okay,
Sorry.
good. At least you know
The
two
patrician
mime names,
super
but you can't
does.
name. Okay, whatever.
Patrician super does.
Okay.
FYI.
I want to ask him how many more mime names he knows just to force you to come up with more mime puns.
Well, there's
Yeah, name 5 mime names on the top of your head.
there's
He's not a real fan of mine. Name 5.
Name 5 mimes.
Yeah, I'm gonna edgelord you about your fucking mime knowledge in this bar.
there's the great Gesturo.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
There's the great Sinicula Symbolesica.
And
well, mime, I mean,
That's mini
juggler and
one.
mime, I guess he can mix that up. That's okay. We'll let that one pass.
That's mini one, I think.
It is many one.
It's mini one.
You're right.
That's the.
Hey, listen.
You got big old freaking fingers, yo.
Where-
You're rocks. You got rock fingers.
Where is Whiteface and Mr. Whiteface and Giggles?
So you know, just having lived here, that the Fools Guild is actually near where you were walking by this morning. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm handing this to you.
You like how I remembered halfway through that bit how troll numbers work?
So good.
Anyone.
Fool's
Many
Guild
ones.
is right on the Patrician's Palace grounds. Meanwhile, the Unseen University is right over here, where Genovia and the Librarian are headed. You guys are right here on Filigree Street. In
So
the
we're
London
just a little south of the Fool's
Yeah,
Guild.
you're Short Street in Filigree. You're maybe 10 minutes away by walking. Well, I guess I gotta find some new jobs because Whiteface, he can get a little scary, but it's not the worst boss.
I know what
It's
I
the other
want.
one I'm
I
working.
know what I want to do.
What other boss?
Wait, the other one? Why you say the other one?
Hey, I got a bear.
Okay,
Fuck up.
he's a great guy, but the other one gives me the willies, and he sort of shakes again.
Can I speak frankly with you?
This is the move, speak frankly,
Yeah,
that
this is the
bards
move,
get.
charming and open when I speak frankly with someone.
I was like, look, if you just tell us who this other weird boss is you got a problem with, maybe my good friend Charles and Beef, and maybe the new boss here, maybe we can help you out, right? We're new in town. I got Dwayne on my side.
He's got Dwayne on his side.
Says Tufa, the new convert, and Dan says, it's your fucking roommate, Giggles. Guy just gives me the creeps. I don't know. In fact, I don't even remember hitting you guys. I'm in like a, I don't
Do you
know.
think Giggles has murderous tendencies?
Yeah.
He's got scary eyes. Mama told me not to look at not to deal with people who look like that. So
Your eyes looked funny earlier.
he just looked kind of shifty. Mine?
No,
glassed over.
yeah, what do you say?
Glassed over and terrifying like you'd seen nothing but everything.
Edward is now thinking a little bit different. Like, maybe the bear's manservant's pretty tight. I don't know.
That seems like a new bond.
That's a shift in bond.
So everybody marks experience.
Change Charles to Bond, pretty tight.
So, if this is a natural changeover point, we're going to head back to Genovia and the Librarian. I think, Genovia, can you describe the bad reception you had the first time you went to the Unseen University, right before we started playing the game?
Yes, so I encountered the guard of the Unseen University.
Who's probably a scared, freshman or something.
Yes, young lad. I tried to bribe him to enter, telling him that I was the first female wizard.
Yeah, it's kind of the problem. Not my problem. It's not my problem, miss, ma'am, lady, mom. No,
Mother?
without guild status or.
My boy, would you stop babbling? I just need to get into the university. You don't have to tell anyone.
I'm literally magically not allowed to. There will be guardian sort of effects if an unregistered woman walks on the ground.
But I am a wizard. Do you know Granny Weatherwax?
I do know of her. She's very good friends with Mustrum Ridcully. Do you know the Arch-Chancellor?
Oh, of course. You know they had a forbidden romance.
I didn't know that, no.
Oh, well, there you go. There's a seed of information for you and an entry for me.
Who are you talking to? Says a slimy-ass voice from behind the young freshman professor at the Unseen University.
Oh, nobody, Second Magus Crop. Sorry. Just turning away some of the uneducated outsiders, that's all.
Uneducated? What? I am a wizard!
A wizard. And the sliding back thing of the door opens up, and you see a mean-looking man. Can you describe his face?
He has a big scar running down from the top right side of his face through his lip that curves in an S and ends around on the other side of his face. He has one green eye and one blue eye and a really long, unruly beard.
My lady, I don't know whose wizard's staff and hat you have confiscated. I am sure that I will find out at some point in the future.
Why, I never.
But I'm
My...
very sorry to say that an unregistered woman wizard doesn't exist. I'm very sorry. So,
You come from the Circle C. I have you known. I travelled 7 weeks and a Hog's Watch night just to get here.
Right. Well, there is a visitor's day next. Let's see, that'd probably be Fleur's Day that you would come. So yes, next Fleur's Day you are welcome to come for either your grandson or perhaps your son, if he's interested in enrolling at the university. At the moment, though, I'm afraid that I've got...
So, what did you say your name was?
Well, my lady, let me introduce myself. I am Second Magus First Class Twilliam Krupp.
Okay, crap or whatever you are. I have seen such portents, such things so feared, so fiery from the pits of the unknown that you would skin a puppy alive, flay it, and eat it before you would ever want to lay eyes upon these portents again. And if you do not let me inside of this university, I fear for the entire population of the disc. Please!
The librarian sort of gestures to the what is it, like this little sliding like the port that you can see out of whatever the fuck it is, the privacy thing in the gate.
The thing like the Wizard of Oz. Where it's
Yeah.
like, that's
Exactly.
also a different color.
He gestures up to it. He gestures up to it out of sight of anybody inside of it and does a jack off motion and sort of beckons you to go and starts loping off around the corner.
Don't follow someone that did a jack off motion and tell them to go around the corner.
I think he wants another banana.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about. Have a nice day, ma'am. And the thing slides shut.
I follow the librarian. Where is he going?
He's he's walking counter-wittitions, so counterclockwise.
So turnwise?
What?
So turnwise?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Yeah, he's walking Wittershins. Just walking along the long, smooth, ensorcelled stone that is the outer periphery of the unseen university. Until you get to more, where the buildings on your right kind of fall away and you're clearly getting over towards more open area near the river. And he looks at you, goes, and points up, and you can see that on this ensorcelled stone edifice, there is nevertheless very climbable ivy leading up over the wall and into the university. He sees that look of recognition.
Ah, yes. Thank you. Listen, here's 3 more bananas, and you know, there's more where that came from for helping me with this quest.
And he holds out his hand.
What is it? Okay. Yes. Stop. Okay. Climb over the. I'll be impaled. No. Big scary. I'm not afraid of a big scary man that breathes fire. Oh no, he doesn't breathe fire. Electric fence? Is that what you're? You're going to have to be more specific.
This looks like a discern reality. So give me 2d6 plus whiz.
A wizard and a chimpanzee play charades.
It's an orangutan. If you were here,
Oh, shit.
he would leave no man.
I like that this is your second side quest thing where orangutans have been evoked.
Wait a second. What was the first? Oh, the monkey man.
Yeah, the monkey man was very orangutan-esque.
Okay.
Well, I didn't write this guy. This is Terry Pratchett.
You said 2d6s plus what?
I think whiz if you're trying to unravel, or maybe int if you're trying to unravel what this guy's saying.
Okay, so I got 8. 8
Great.
total.
So I get to tell you something interesting, and it's up to you to make it useful. Okay. Thanks, game. Let's see. Okay, so the monkey, the monkey man, the orangutan is clearly warning you of something. Not to push you away from it, but you go towards the wall, and he reaches out and just pulls on your sleeve, plucks it, and is like, oh, I warned you.
Oh,
You get the impression that if you might have to sign a health insurance
Not
waiver,
advised, but
a life insurance waiver.
Okay.
And he says, and he's like, doing the
Catapult over the wall.
more like a follow me kind of thing, and he begins to pull himself up the vines.
Hello, friends. Jonah here once again to say thank you for listening to episode 2 of
Portents.
This side quest is brought to you by our splendiferous sponsor, Castor & Pollux, makers of mystical jewelry and geeky novelties. Quest Company listeners can go to castpollux.com and get 15% off of your entire order of dice, jewelry, and other nerdy accessories by using the code TheQuestCo. That's TheQuestCo, all lowercase letters and no spaces, and you will get 15% off of your entire order. That is a great deal, made even better by the fact that every order that uses our code gets us closer to being able to do our next giveaway. So go check them out and find something you'll love, like an awesome set of dice from their Mythos collection. And if you order a set of dice or a cool piece of jewelry from Castor & Pollux, send us a picture and we'll feature you on our Instagram and Twitter. If you're a fan of the Quest Company, please do us a solid and go over to our show page on the Apple Podcast app or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave us a rating and review. It is super easy. It'll only take you a minute, and you doing that is a massive help to us as we continue to spread the word about the show and get more people listening. So please, pause this episode. It'll still be here when you get back, I promise. Go submit a rating and review and then hop right back into the action. We read every review that comes in, and we love to see new ones. And if you leave us a review, we'll give you a shout out right here on the podcast. If you'd like to contact us, you can do so directly through our Connect page on questcompanypodcast.com or by finding us on Twitter, Instagram, etc. at The Quest Company. I'd like to take a moment to thank the beautiful and powerful Joseph Cash for the Portents theme, as well as the tasty Dobro jams he put together for this side quest, and I'd like to thank all the other fantastic artists whose music we used. Thank you to Tabletop Audio for the tracks Waterkeep, Slaughtered Ox, Noir Procedural, and Secret Garden. You can get more from Tabletop Audio on tabletopaudio.com. Also, thank you to Benny B. Blonco for the song Wizard Swing Warriors, and Eaters for the song Monkey Magic. You can find more from those artists on freemusicarchive.org. Additional sound design by Bigmanjoe and Setuniman. That's all for me, so let's get back to the nonsense. Thank you for listening to Portents here at the Quest Company.
Certainly a monkey has learned some magic.
Right.
What are we doing, my gents?
You guys will go see Giggles?
I was just Giggle Man is.
I pick
Bloody
up
boy.
the is the body still there? The
Grunge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor
Cool.
Grunge.
I pick up the dead body.
A fellow dwarf.
And I just go, all right, let's go visit Giggles Mr. Whiteface. And I throw the decapitated body over my shoulder and walk out the door.
Nice and blood just splatters everywhere.
Yeah.
Him up. Just goes there. Oh, god damn. What did you need him for? What did you bring him for?
I think Beef goes over and licks it because
Beef? Fuck.
You gave him the
You're a
tags.
wild animal.
I squeeze the body a little bit just to get Beef some extra juice.
Marinade.
Blood is natural. Blood is okay.
And I go, the reason I need this body, because if we just show up, how are they going to know we're fucking serious?
Well, I have a bear.
Yeah.
We'd also have to show him a bear.
Excuse me. Your bear has a man. I don't know how many times I have to ask you. Please respect nobility
I
when
don't
you're
know what
around
your
me.
disillusion
Alright,
is.
look,
It's
look,
kind of throwing me for a loop here. I don't like it.
It's like our friend Marmalade Gumdrop said. Portent.
Who the hell? Oh,
The wizard lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole quest in the purple dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bimbledum Drumfiddle.
Oh, you just. Yeah, is that another lore of yours? Bibblegoom Dumbdrup?
That's her name, right?
Is that a god?
That's the
Like
lady wizard.
Dwayne Rock?
That's the lady wizard.
No, okay, I'm just gonna go. I'm leaving. I'm walking. Base!
Shooby-Doo Scat
Somewhere
Cat.
Genovia is
God.
twitching.
Am I having a stroke? Am I having a stroke? Am I having a stroke? I swear to God.
As we leave, I go back to our
Charles is now
our
63.
unmauled friend.
Charles is 63, by the way.
Charles is 63.
He just aged.
Oh, I love it.
That's his
Tire's been fucking 63.
You have like goods to sell too, right?
I got fucking pelts. You know, Beef's been carrying my pelts. Like
You just haven't had the chance, I guess.
I haven't.
But as we're on our way out, I'll go over to our unmauled friend
Are you
and say,
talking about Gumbus or Tufa?
I'll go.
Oh no, Dan.
Dan.
Demauled. He was mauled.
Yeah,
he is less mauled now.
He has been demauled, but I just say,
By the way, you should talk with Tufa about Dwayne.
and then I pull out the rock again.
This guy right here.
Oh yeah, brother. As many people as you can get. I need it.
I'll just say, you should have a conversation with Tufa. Dwayne's a good guy.
Shifty Dan kind of like lifts up his thumbs, like, hey.
Please leave. I'm so scared.
Meanwhile, Gumbus is just sort of like enjoying playing to an empty room. He probably feels more confident than he has. He's like, I can see how Giggles got into this. Maybe I should stop while I'm ahead.
Good idea.
And we leave.
Good idea.
And where are you guys headed?
We're going to the Fools Guild, and I'm gonna throw that decapitated body on the steps of it and scream out, Mr. Whiteface.
That's a statement right there.
Holy shit. Okay, so you're walking through the streets, up Filigree Street, back towards the Patrician's Palace and the surrounding guild area, and definitely the sensorial assault that I described earlier is the same. Like, the fact that Ankh-Morpork is such a densely populated place, all the chamber pots being thrown out the windows and stuff, this place is, it smells like a New York dumpster fire. But it's home.
Yeah, it's home to me.
It's home.
Yeah.
And you get maybe 30 paces before a guardsman says, "What the fuck? What happened here? What was... Stop where you are, sir." And he, pulls out his badge and his lawman's truncheon. What's going on here? Do you need assistance? Is he all right?
Excuse me, sir. Do you know who my father is? I'm Edward Valender of the Valenders, and I have very important business, and if you do not stop and impede me right now, I will have your badge number and I will have you fired, sir. Also, still holding the dead body.
It's
not at all.
Still walking.
Yeah.
Oh god, I wish Vimes was here.
Can I talk to you for a second, sir?
Is this a help roll?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Give me a parlay with a help.
Distracting the motherfucker.
Yeah, but no,
We're
please.
not. Now wait, look. Now hold on a minute.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's like a 3 plus
Oh
1 or 2.
boy.
I got like a 12 on my parlay.
Okay, so you escape notice, but you draw attention to yourself.
Yeah.
Holy shit,
Hey.
a bear! Did the bear do that?
No.
Oh my god.
No. He don't eat nobody unless he sometimes forgets that he shouldn't eat people. I guess.
You're saying this to a dust cloud
Yeah,
because the guard has
Hey,
sprinted away.
back here, and I yell at Beef, go get him! Bring back here!
No, I think we.
I'm like, oh shit, and then I assume Beef's like just already gone. Oh, fuck, Beef, don't! And then I chase Beef.
No, I think. Ah, shit. All right.
And I go help him chase down Beef.
Leaving Edward Valender alone to head off with a
I'm
body.
proudly marching forward, assuming that my companions are behind me, because why would they not follow my lead?
Oh my god.
So you guys are basically taking off down Post Street, I believe, which is right outside of the Mended Drum. And you've lost track. No, you haven't, because you're a fucking tracker. Yeah, give me a roll, Ranger boy.
4 or 5 with
Plus wisdom, so you...
Hold on.
6. So fail.
Beef. Wait.
Okay, so this is a lot of failures. I just got to keep track of them real
I was
quick.
about to say, how many did we just get?
2.
What 2 more then?
How many experience is that?
I think
'Cause
that's 5 total, right?
That's probably right.
That's what I have. It doesn't say what happens if I fail.
I bet you didn't hear large thudding footsteps in the opposite direction.
No, my importance is too loud.
Sorry?
What did you ask again?
Oh, the Ranger move. Track when you track a
Family name.
It's like one of your basic moves is tracking.
Follow the trail, clues left behind, roll wisdom plus, and you follow the creature's trail until there's a significant change in direction or mode of travel.
You instantly lose them, Do you lose Beef? I think so, just for a second.
Beef, no.
Beef, he's a quick boy, and I don't know...
Happens all the time. I've had since he's a pup.
I don't know if you're worried maybe that he's going to attack the guardsman, because it wasn't kill him that you were saying, it was go get him. Yeah. So I think he's just sort of almost like a puppy covered in blood, huge, and just a terrifying...
Fast, ferocious, intimidating, frightening.
Oh, I think he's like caught up to the guy like 3 times by now. Like he's just sort of like nipping at his heels because he doesn't know what he's supposed to do. Yeah. By the way, you get to add, because hunt humanoids and hunt monsters in this game is technically the same thing, you get to add another training if you'd like.
Oh, cool. Hell yeah.
Ooh,
it's technically this, like all NPCs are essentially monsters. It's just kind of how it works. But because inside of every man is a monster.
Meow. I can't do that. That's too much.
So you tear off after Beef, but the guardsman has already gone around a corner, as has the bear, and you lose track of them momentarily because this is an unfamiliar terrain. The city itself has risen up and blocked your view, kind of like how a copse of trees might. And for a second, you're even out of view of Crusty, and you are totally alone. Have you ever been to Ankh-Morpork? You said you were born here. Is that right?
I guess so.
You know that you are vaguely on the street of the small gods, the avenue. And in fact, the temple of the small gods is just around the corner. And there's a moment of almost eerie silence in this extremely well-populated city. And something appears to you. What animal gave you comfort as a child? Either when you were learning to hunt or play or a possum.
Possum. Big old possum named Jerry.
A big old possum named Jerry. Was it a stuffed possum or a friend?
A big old real possum. He spoke English to me.
How long has it been since the possum passed away, Jerry?
He died when I was about 12 years old. Just learned how to track deer right in that moment. Saw him on the road, and then he got hit by a wagon.
Right in front of the street of the small gods in the same city where Jerry passed away. Sitting on a bench, looking at you with eyes wide and full of love and understanding, is Jerry. And he says,
"Oh my God.
Hello."
Jerry.
Yes, I'm Jerry.
Jerry. You sound a little bit different, but that's okay. You look like Jerry.
I'm Jerry, my good friend. How have you been? How are you?
I'm all right. I got a bear now.
You got a bear now?
I got a bear. He's...
How long has it been, my boy?
I don't know. I'm 65 now, so...
Wow, probably 10 years, 53 years.
It's been so long,
20,
Jerry.
53 years,
I don't know,
probably.
possums can live that long, but I guess through, the power of magic.
Through the power of magic and love.
And love, yeah.
Friend.
Amigo.
Buddy.
Used to always call you amigo.
I remember that, and I always used to...
Ride on my shoulder.
Ride on your shoulders.
Tracking deer.
Yeah, I did.
One day that we did that I found you, and then you died that same day.
At this exact moment, Crusty catches up, and...
found you, God.
How does a rock get out of breath? You don't have lungs. Sorry, have you met Jerry?
Oh, well, fuck me, I guess.
Jerry is not there when you point at the bench.
Where's Jerry? Jerry Bear? Amigo? Amigo?
What are you talking about, man?
Amigo?
What is it? What?
He's shaking to his core. Amigo?
You found Beef?
No, I found Jerry. Remember, you don't know Jerry. I didn't tell you about Jerry.
No, you did not.
I met a possum. I just saw him. I had an emotional flashback to when I was 12. I'm fine now, but... Oh, shit. It was like one day when I was 12, I met this possum named Jerry. He was nice to me.
Right.
Oh, yeah, Crusty. If you ever meet somebody named Jerry, I'm begging of you, don't trust him.
Oh, right. I won't trust him, Dwayne. I only trust you. And my friends, but weird possum, no way.
I know I can count on you.
Always.
Edward.
Yeah.
You have been walking for quite a while now. The 5 minutes or so that it takes with this bloodied up man. And while this is Ankh-Morpork, land of criminal opportunity, you are definitely in the nicer part of town, so this is not as often seen. And I think it is only a miracle that makes it so that you are not stopped by another watchman as you walk directly up to the Fool's Guild front steps and throw the caved-in head of body of Grunge on the front porch, who knocks into the door and opens it up on an ongoing police investigation. Everybody turns and looks at you.
Well, I'm waiting for you to ask me to come in.
Sir, I'm going to need you to put your hands up, says a very handsome, tall woman with long tresses of blonde hair in a sergeant's uniform.
I'm sorry. Do you know who my father is?
She begins walking towards you.
Well, I was here on official guild business.
Uh-huh. Official guild business, and she has signaled to two other officers who drop what they're doing, putting down evidence bags and the like, and who begin flanking truncheons drawn. I'm just gonna need you to put your hands up. What did you say your name was? Who is your father?
Like you don't know a Valender when you see him. And then I hurl the dead body at him.
Okay. This looks like... What are you trying to do, escape, or...?
Well, I'm going to hurl the dead body at her, and then my plan was to take a swipe at one of the other guys coming at me to be able to escape. But...
Oh my God, okay. So this looks like a defy danger, which is sort of a catch-all for... give me a strength defy danger.
Seems applicable.
I got a 8 + 2 and a 10.
Holy shit! How many successes is that?
I've gotten so many.
So many perfect
So on a
successes.
10+, you do what you set out to do, and the threat doesn't come to bear. Cool. So yeah, I just throw the dead body at her,
right?
And then I just whatever guy's closest to me, I just deck him out, and then I just bolt off.
With
hey, Fun Bunch, this is what it's like.
So I think in some strange twist, she is not anymore where she was when you threw the body, and it immediately the body smashes into and gets blood and brains all over a very corpulent corporal behind her, who goes, "Oh my God!" and falls on his ass. She steps to the side quicker than you could think, looks back down, and looks at you. By then, you are gone. Where are you running, Edward?
So I already knew. I knew where the. Do I have any knowledge of other places Mr. Whiteface or Giggles
might be? Pretty much only. You've seen them in like social events, I'm sure, like mix 'em ups with the merchants guilds and and like the lawyers guild luncheon and all that other shit, where the big wigs and the hobnobs and the gooba boobas and the big apples and the big turtles, whatever, they all sort of socialize and shit. You could probably think of a couple nice lunch places in the very ritzy part of town they might have gone, but I think the first thing that you notice is that Crusty, your employee, your paid salaried employee, and Beef and Beef's companion are not there.
I just realized, I'm like, well, looks like they're gonna get fired to the music guild.
Oh, great. And you immediately hop around the corner. It's just a stone's throw away, and you are on your way towards the Music Guild with the cries of the Watchmen echoing in your ears. Genovia.
Yes.
Are you climbing this big old magic wall?
I have been climbing for an eternity, it seems. Longer than 3 Hogwarts nights. Librarian, how much farther do we have up?
I imagine you're a foot off the ground. If you're gonna keep climbing, give me a defy danger physical. So strength or dex, depending on whichever you like. I think you're -1 in both.
Dex, I'm
0. Oh, cool.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was about to say you're only -1 in 1.
Yeah.
All right. That is a solid 5.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh no.
So
Gonna die.
you're an old woman, you know? You're are you old?
Yes, I would say I'm not as old as Granny, but quite old.
Yeah, you're a little up
A
there.
lady never reveals her age.
How about a lady wizard?
The rules still apply. I would say, rounding a century.
So I think you get another. You get a grip on one of the vines or something, and you manage to haul yourself up. Despite being of an advanced age and more used to dealing with things through sheer force of intellect or personality, you nevertheless are doing pretty well physically to get up when almost your detect magic is still going. And now that you're near the Unseen University, there is 100% a background radiation of magic that you are feeling, and then it spikes.
Crusty! Is that you?
Oh,
Smells like
ooh,
Crusty here.
I definitely want to say it is completely different from the Crusty Dwayne smell. It's more. This is the more magic that you're used
It's
to.
just a passing whiff.
Yeah, somebody jogged by talking to themselves, and
Another follower, Dwayne.
yeah, probably. So you are pulling yourself up, and then there's a sharp spike of a magic that is not destructive in nature and is more biological. And the vine that you were reaching for immediately slips out of your grasp as though it had been yanked, and you fall back down onto your buttocks. And
Oh, my quest!
oh my god,
The mouth shapes that just happened. Oh man.
The battle of wizards and warriors continues with iron swords. The evil wizard Malkill will take the shape of the earth, wind, water, and fire. Farewell! The fate of the world is in your hands!
Welcome to the world of Heavendale, a town populated by superpowered teens that have been infiltrated by the group.
Did you mention daycare yet?
I was gonna just say who they were, so
Hey, don't forget to tell everybody that I used to be a villain.
I have to like get to that first before I can even say
Damn
it.
it, I rolled a 5.
Why are you rolling dice? We're just recording a promo and not playing.
Crap, I rolled a 4.
What?
We are going to die in the promo.
Okay, that doesn't really make sense if people haven't listened to the podcast yet, so I don't know why.
It's a pre-callback.
Okay, pre-callbacks are not a thing.
I feel really good about the promo.
I have not even finished the opening line.
Yeah, I think we nailed it.
Okay, no one knows the name of our podcast.
It's Critical Bits.
It's a comedy role-playing game podcast.
Find it wherever you get your podcasts.